Stop. Stop. Are you making the same mistake millions of people make every single day? If you have quarter-dollar coins in your pocket, your wallet, or even a dusty drawer, stop treating them like ordinary change. Because the truth is shocking, some of these coins can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and most people have no idea. Just imagine holding a simple-looking coin, something you'd normally spend without a second thought, but in reality, it could carry a hidden value that changes everything. And here's the most surprising part. Many of these rare and valuable quarters are already out there, sitting in people's homes, ignored and unnoticed, because they don't know what to look for. In today's video, I'm going to break it all down step by step, and show you exactly how to identify these hidden treasures hiding in plain sight. So don't skip ahead, because the last coin might completely change the way you look at pocket change forever.
Now let's move to our very first discovery, a coin that may look completely ordinary at first glance, but in reality holds a surprisingly different story, the 1980 D-quarter dollar, a name you may have heard before, or perhaps this very coin is sitting in your pocket right now. But the real question is, do you actually know what you're holding? Minted in 1980 at the Denver Mint, this coin was produced in massive quantities, which is why the world sees it as just another common circulation coin, but history has shown us time and time again that sometimes the smallest mistake can turn something ordinary into something truly extraordinary, and that's exactly what happened here. During the minting process, a few rare errors occurred, like the double die effect, where the lettering appears slightly doubled, or an off-center strike, where the design isn't perfectly aligned, or even clipped edges. These are the subtle signs that can transform this simple coin into a hidden treasure. And the most shocking part? Most people never even notice these details. They spend it like a regular 25-cent coin without a second thought, while in the world of collectors, that same coin has sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. And when the coin is in top condition, with no wear and its original luster intact, its value can rise to an entirely different level. That's why even today, these coins are still out there, sitting quietly in people's homes, unnoticed, untouched, like a secret just waiting to be discovered, and maybe, just maybe, the next valuable 1980 D-quarter is already in your hands. The only difference is this time, you'll know not to ignore it. Now take this idea a little deeper. Pause for a moment and think, how many times have you pulled coins out of your pocket, handed them over without counting, or tossed them onto a table without ever realizing that one of them could be worth far more than you ever imagined? This is exactly where most people make their mistake. Because the truth is, valuable coins don't always shine. They don't always look new, and they don't come with a label announcing their worth. Instead, their true identity is hidden in the smallest details. The 1980 D-quarter is one of those secrets, a coin that to the average eye is just a piece of metal, but to a trained collector is a possibility, an opportunity, a discovery. When these coins were being minted, even the slightest variation in machine speed, pressure, or alignment could create an error that would later define the coin's uniqueness, and over time, those errors became increasingly rare, as most coins were worn down in circulation or lost altogether. But the few that survived in better condition have now become treasures in the eyes of collectors. That's why even today, there are people all around the world searching through old coins, placing them under magnifying glasses, studying every letter, every line, every edge, because they understand that even the smallest detail can carry a value of thousands of dollars. And at the center of all this is one powerful idea, awareness. Because if you don't know what you're looking for, even a treasure in your hand will mean nothing to you. The story of the 1980 D-quarter teaches us a simple truth. Not everything ordinary should be ignored. Some things hide their true value, waiting for the right person to recognize them. And when that moment comes, something once considered ordinary becomes something truly extraordinary. Now we move on to the next discovery, another seemingly ordinary but truly surprising coin, the 1987 D-quarter dollar, a coin that most people look at and immediately ignore because it doesn't feel old, and its design doesn't appear particularly different at first glance. But this is exactly where the story becomes interesting, because the real secret is not in how it looks, but in the details hidden within it. Minted in 1987 at the Denver Mint, this coin caught the attention of collectors for a specific reason, and that reason was its limited circulation. Only a relatively small number of quarters were released into general use that year, which gave these coins a natural sense of rarity from the very beginning. But over time, that rarity only increased. And this is the point where you need to slow down and pay attention. If you ever come across a 1987 D quarter, the first thing you need to check is the D mint mark, because that is its identity. Then comes the next step, the condition of the coin. Is it worn out from circulation, or does it still hold its original shine? Because this alone can create the difference between something worth a few cents and something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then take a closer look. Rotate it under the light. Are the letters perfectly sharp, or do you notice even a slight doubling effect? If the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appear slightly doubled, that could be a strong signal that this coin is not ordinary. But don't stop there. The next step is even more important. Examine the edges of the coin. Is the rim smooth and well balanced, or does it appear uneven in certain areas? Is the design perfectly centered or slightly off? Because an off-center strike or any edge imperfection can significantly increase the value of the coin. And these are exactly the small details most people tend to ignore, while collectors actively search for them. And now the most important point, the one most people miss. If you have this coin and it is in uncirculated condition, meaning no scratches, no visible wear, then pause for a moment, because this is where a simple coin can transform into a serious collectible, and this is the exact point where its value can jump from just a few cents to potentially hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But the most surprising truth is this: even today, these coins are still out there, sitting in coin jars, hidden in old pockets, or locked away in boxes that haven't been opened in years. And the irony is that people handle them every day without realizing what they're holding, simply because they don't know what to look for. Now we have reached the final coin of this video, and perhaps the most surprising one, a coin that is not only modern, but even in its freshness carries a hidden secret within it, the 2021 quarter dollar. Yes, a coin that might make you smile at first and say, "This just came out recently, what could possibly be special about it?" But this is exactly where most people make their biggest mistake, because the truth is that rarity is not limited to old coins only. Sometimes even new coins can make history, and the 2021 quarter is one of them. Now the question is, what should you check in it? First of all, carefully look at the design, because in 2021, the United States introduced the Washington Cross in the Delaware design, and this is your first clue. If you have this design, pause for a moment, because this is not just a regular coin. It represents a transition point, the beginning of a new series, and coins like these always hold special importance for collectors. Now the next step, the mint mark. Does it show a D, a P, or an S? Because different mints can affect rarity, especially the S mint coins, which are often released in limited quantities. Now rotate the coin under the light. Does the surface look perfectly clean and sharp, or do you notice any die cracks, doubling, or unusual marks? Because even modern coins can have minting errors, and these small mistakes are exactly what can make them instantly valuable. And here comes another point that most people completely miss: condition. Because with modern coins like the 2021 quarter, the biggest value lies in perfect condition. If you have a coin that looks flawless, as if it just came straight from the mint, then this simple piece of change can turn into a premium collectible, especially if it grades high like MS67 or above, and at that level, its value can increase in a truly surprising way. But the real suspense is still not over, because some 2021 quarters have already shown reported errors, such as die chips, strike-through errors, or subtle doubling, details that are invisible to the untrained eye. But when an expert identifies them, that same 25-cent coin suddenly transforms into a valuable collectible, and this is where luck and knowledge come together. Now just pause and think for a moment. A modern coin, still actively circulating, something you can receive any day, anywhere from a grocery store, pocket change, or even a vending machine, and yet hidden inside it could be a value you never even imagined, and that is the most powerful part of the story. So the next time you come across a 2021 quarter, don't just ignore it as another new coin. Look at it carefully. The design, the mint mark, the surface, the edges. Because you might not just be holding a coin, you could be holding the beginning of a new story, a secret that has not yet been fully revealed to the world, and an opportunity that only those who know what to look for will ever recognize. And with that, as you now look at the coins in your pocket, they are no longer just coins. They become potential treasures. Because the truth is simple: sometimes the greatest value is hidden inside the most ordinary things.
And that's the end of today's journey. But remember, every coin tells a story. You just have to look closely. What seems like 25 cents today might hide a surprise tomorrow. So next time you check your pocket change, don't ignore it. Inspect it, because the next hidden treasure could already be in your hands.